up, you guys, and welcome to my channel. It is your girl, Meech69, back at it again. Grinding with a new YouTube video. Disclaimer.
I'm Florida medical marijuana patient. All the products
To review.
we're talking about a product related to us.
If you don't like it, you can do what now? Or if you're under 18, you can do what now? You can, what? Kick rocks. Don't smoke them. Pew! So what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Michi Michelle, Michi69. Upload on Mondays, reels on other days. I do crappy comedy, and I review and smoke tons of cannabis-related products and topics, because I'm
a medical cannabis patient in Florida.
Also doing the shipping container bill, so if anything hits your bag, subscribe assist to my channel assist, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back, and if you're a hater, welcome. But guys, we've got something really cool to talk about here in the medical community. It is exciting for me, but first things first. I gotta take care of business off camera. Why not? I'm coming with you with legit facts, news. Like, I had to research this video, guys. You ready? Oh, you ain't ready. I'm so excited. All right, now we're good. So we have a win in the medical cannabis and just in the cannabis community all together. So if you are a fellow Floridian like me, there's only been a few issues with this. So check it. Medical cannabis patients and people who smoke marijuana are no longer prohibited from having guns. Now, let's talk about this. In Florida, you were never prohibited from having a gun. You can even have your concealed carry permit. I have mine. You are prohibited from purchasing new guns. You could always do private sales, build aid, palmaries, whatever. If a family member got you one, you've been handed it down. There was ways, you just could not go buy a new one. But guess what, you guys? There was a case out of Idaho. So I do like to watch a lot of 2A news, and there was a decision called the Bruin decision, which basically made all gun laws have to stick to text, history, and tradition. And traditionally, marijuana was not something that enabled somebody from having to be able to use guns. I'm going to read you actually some stuff from the case. So this is a case out of Idaho, right? I'm going to tell you, this is what happened. This is from Lawton Police Department. On May 20th, 2022, a guy named Jared Michael Harrison was pulled over by an officer and first failing to stop at a red light. When he rolled down his window to speak to the officer, they smelled weed. I'm kind of doing it in their easy terms. And the officer told him he was on his way to work. He did work at a dispensary, but he didn't have his medical cannabis card at the time, nor did he even have a medical card issued. So the officer said, step out of his car, and he also noticed he was wearing an ankle monitor. He was on probation for aggravated assault. They didn't conduct a sobriety test. They didn't take any blood, to determine if he was under the influence of marijuana. And then another officer arrived, and they searched his vehicle, and they found a loaded revolver in the driver's seat side floorboard, 2 prescription bottles, one that contained empty roaches and half-smoked cannabis, THC cartridges, edibles, gummies, candies, and whatnot. So he was arrested at the scene, and then the next day, the state of Oklahoma charged him with possession of marijuana, paraphernalia, and failure to obey a traffic signal. And while he was awaiting trial for those charges, a federal grand jury indicted him on possessing a firearm with knowledge that he was an unlawful user of marijuana. Now, the argument in this case was that he should be dismissed for due process clause and Second Amendment reasons because the court resolves the motion on the Second Amendment grounds. The court won't treat Harris's due process or claims to describe as an argument that regarded as far as the Second Amendment. Harrison argues that he has the right to possess a firearm and that it infringes upon that right, relying primarily on the New York State and Rifle Pistol Association versus Bruin. Harrison argues that the Second Amendment plain text covers his conduct, possessing a handgun, and that the government cannot affirmatively prove that his restrictions are part of historical traditions that define our outer bounds to right and keep and bear arms. First, Harrison, neither text nor history or traditions support the notion that only law-abiding individuals are part of the protected people by the Second Amendment. He argues that the government did not point any historical laws into the four quarters or much as the tradition of the laws. As while Bruin may not require the government to identify a historical twin where the societal where societal problem addresses users of illicit substances possessing guns. This is nothing new. The government must identify distinctly similar laws in our nation's history and tradition and cannot. So the United States argued that he was not protected. He is not a protected person because he is not a law-abiding citizen. But that did not work. So this is what happened. Before the court is defended, Jared motions Michael to dismiss the indictment, which argues that the statute he is charged with violating is unconstitutionally in violation of due process clause and unconstitutionally infringes upon his rights to possess a firearm. In violation of the Second Amendment, for reasons given below, the motion was granted. So, what does that mean? Basically, it means we can now possess firearms. I'm pretty sure, like, before you go out and buy guns at a gun store and whatever, do the research. I'm going to link 2 videos. One is from the USCCA. The other one's from Guns and Gadgets. These are very reliable sources, and they have links relying all that stuff. Now, in Florida, again, you can always have had your concealed carry permit and your medical marijuana card. They did not have a problem with that. Nikki Fried hands out both. She hands out both. We've talked about this before, but it was purchasing new firearms. But now it looks like we are not prohibited. So don't go out and purchase new firearms. I'm pretty sure that they are going to appeal it, but it is looking like, you guys, medical cannabis patients and just cannabis patients and cannabis users are no longer prohibited people. Win-win in my opinion, because I love me some guns and I want to be able to buy new ones. I have my concealed carry permit. I want to go and have the experience. The experience. You know what I mean? I want the experience. So yeah, that's what I want to do. So, and to be honest, it was very confusing for a while because I didn't know about when you purchase, the way that it's worded on the W-443 is kind of questionable. So it almost makes it look like, well, I'm not an illegal user of cannabis. I'm a legal user. I'm a med card. So yeah, I'm not an illegal user. So it could have gotten a lot of people in trouble just the way it was worded, because people probably thought, oh yeah, I can buy a gun. But you couldn't. But you could have one. You could buy one from private sales. So it's really been confusing. So many veterans have guns. So you're telling me they can't have them? No. So we've got to win in 2 communities that I love, and that is in the cannabis community and the gun community. So if either one of those communities don't mean anything to you, you could care less about this video. But if anything, it's a win on both. We got to win in the cannabis community, and we got to win in the gun community. And if you don't like guns and cannabis, I don't know. I think I'm going to do a video. Actually, tell me if I should do a video. Because before this law even dropped, I'm going to do a list of celebrities that openly smoke cannabis and carry guns. How have they been getting them and not getting in trouble? Joe Rogan. Love ya. But if you want me to do something like that, if you want me to do some content, once I find out more shit, I'll be more confident posting gun content. But I would really like to. I would really like to post some gun content, safe-wise, because I have a range. Yeah. I could show you guys what I got. So I feel like I can do a gun collection soon. If you guys want to see that, drop it in the comments. I'm already demonetized. It doesn't matter. So I think we're done here. Are we done here? I think we're done here. If you made it all the way into this video, you are awesome. Please go ahead and drop a like. Be a dick face and drop a dick like. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, listen, ring that bell.
Ding dong.
To get notified when I post. I mean, why not post gun shit? We're not prohibited.